Hello everyone, just thought I'd give you a quick up video of well, this might be a series actually. I think I might do a series, but a lot of people, new beekeepers, start out wondering, well, what do we do, how do we make these frames, what tools do I need, how do I make it, etc. So I might go through it step by step the way I do it, which is by no means the best way, fastest way, or anything like that, but it's just a way that works for me. So you'll see when you get your box of timber, this is roughly what you'll get. A tied box full of these timber pieces. Now these timber pieces comprise of the sides, the top, and these are actually timber frames from New Zealand. Very good quality. I mean, you can see the precision that they have cut this in. Very good. I'm very happy with these frames. Recommend them to anyone. I'll post a link to their website. This is the bottom bar. As you can see, they basically slot into each other, just like Lego pieces. Then of course you'll need a sheet of foundation. I prefer to buy the small foundation, however I do choose slightly more expensive and thicker foundation because I find that once it's in the spinner it doesn't break as easily. You will also need an absolute necessity, nails, long nails to punch through these two areas to join these two bits, and I'll show you how all that works later. You'll also need these small nails which you use to tie these wonderful steel wires. Now you can get these galvanized stainless steel depending on how much money you have, or just standard steel. Gee, I don't even know what grade it is, but it's very thin. I might find out and put that in the comments section below. And you'll need some eyelets. Now the eyelets go into these small holes which have been pre-punched, and that is there to protect the timber from being cut with the wire. So it gives it a hard edge, and you can tighten the wire quite firmly without the steel wire cutting into the little timber, which is a problem because then you lose your tension. Then it doesn't hold your foundation, and the whole frame is very flimsy and it's just not good. I like to do things properly when I do them. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, perhaps more money to get these pieces, but I think it's well worth the investment in my mind. I'll show you. This is how it looks with the eyelets put in. So that's how you would feed your wires through. And I do apologise for all the beekeepers that watch this video that are experienced. I'm sure you've done hundreds and hundreds of these, as you tend to do. Now I managed to, the way I do these frames, I managed to get them down to about, maybe 20 minutes. 20 minutes is the smallest, shortest period of time. So you feed your wire through that, tension it. I'll show you when that, when we get to that part in the next one, in the next short video. Now the next bit that you are going to need, next tools, good set of pliers, because inevitably you are going to bend some of these nails as you're nailing them in. Excellent to get them out. And also a this is part of the tool that I use to tighten that wire. So I grab that with the pliers to tension it. I don't have a rig. They do call them a rig, a tensioning wiring rig, but I do have quite a fast way now, I think, which I'm happily going to share with you. You will notice, oh geez, this camera is just really doing my head in. I don't know why it's not focusing. You will notice, see how I have filed that edge so that it's nice and rounded. That is because I found that the sharp edge always cut my wire, which was very annoying. So this creates a smooth edge, and as you're tensioning the wire, as you grab it and you tension it that way, it doesn't snap it and makes the process a lot easier. So just a little tip. Little hammer, you really won't need to use the little one, it's very cumbersome to use. However, good nail remover, so one of the two. If you either get something to remove the nails that you might bend and you don't want to damage the frame or the timber bit with your pliers. Next thing is a nice comfortable long hammer, ideally with a rounded edge as well. Sometimes you do need to use this side of the hammer, works very well. Staple gun, I like to use that to reinforce the nails, and a good quality wood glue. Now the wood glue I use very sparingly, and only in these joints right there that join up these two pieces. Also make sure you've got plenty of cartridges for the stapler. Very critical part is a rag. Inevitably, as you squeeze these two pieces of wood together, the wood glue comes out, and you do need to wipe it down. At least I do, because I want to make sure that it's a nice finish. So I wipe it all down. Then you will actually need one of these little tools. Well, it's not a tool, it's a car battery charger. Don't worry about the compressor bit. It's I put that on the charger up. A couple of these alligator clips. Connect that up to the ends. And when you have your wire stretched out from side to side, from there to there, back and forth 4 times on these large frames, you lay your fine foundation on it, and you create a short circuit between the two, which heats the wire just enough. I find 3 quick touches, maybe half a second to a second, you'll get a little bit of spark. Heats up the wire and the wax will melt onto it. If you do it too much, it'll cut through. If you do it too little, it won't hold. So it's a fine balance that you need to strike between the two. And you do that over and over and over and over. As most beekeepers will tell you, that is not the most enjoyable of jobs. But at least you know this way that your bees are getting timber rather than plastic. I'm yet to experiment with plastic frames. I don't know how you would treat them with heat. You know, I burn off all of my frames at least once a year to make sure that all the wax moths and hive beetles and diseases and all the bits and pieces are killed off. Plastic, you can't do that. I suppose you can submerge them in a solution. With you'd use probably bleach or something along those lines, but again, it's a chemical, so I don't know if I'd be doing that. Don't feel comfortable with it anyway. So I like the timber, I like working with timber. Plus the bees actually live on the frames. They don't live on the hive itself, on the outer box. They don't particularly care what sort of a box you might have. But chemicals and plastics, which I don't know, people use plastic foundations. Again, how do you clean that stuff? You can't melt it down. You can't replace it really. It must be difficult. Having said that, I don't have the experience, so I'm not saying yes or no. Don't have a verdict on it yet. It's just the initial concern that I have. So I prefer the timber on the outside, on the frames. Good quality wax, ideally your own that you bring in, if you know that yours is healthy and good quality. And the boxes will cover later on. I have timber, plastics, I've tried all sorts, and must say I'm leaning towards the new plastic hives, the brew boxes and the supers. So anyway, that's the first part. I might post it up, and next time I'm doing some frames I'll post the second part. If you're enjoying these videos, let me know by pressing or clicking on the thumbs up, and if you really like them, I'd much appreciate if you'd subscribe. It will help the channel to grow, and of course I'll take any feedback. Anything I do is it's just from my own experience, self-taught, never been a beekeeper, so just from reading and looking at other people's videos. So I might not have the most original ideas, certainly not revolutionary, but if it helps anyone or any new beekeepers out there, that's fantastic, and I think it's worth doing. So let me know. Want to hear from you. Thank you. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.